Baku, Azerbaijan for the Bouldering World Cup 2014. Last weekend we were in Chongqing in China and it went really well for the German team. But as we all know, this can change really quickly in bouldering. It stays very exciting throughout the season and very different too. Right now we have totally different climate, totally different everything from Chongqing, and then 1 week later, after this World Cup, we will be in Grindelwald, just below the Eiger North face in Switzerland. Then comes Innsbruck, before it goes on to Toronto in Canada, Vail in the US, then Hayang, and finally Laval in France. So it's impossible for me to do those Boulder World Cup reports after each event, as I did the last 5 years. And since I've been doing this for 5 years, this year I really want to do something new. This year I'm going to do one clip about the whole season. This 2014 Boulder World Cup report will go into much greater detail than my previous Boulder World Cup reports. I will try to get as many views behind the scenes as possible. That means interviewing the competitors, but also the route setters and all the officials that make a Boulder World Cup possible. This clip will provide unique behind the scenes footage to give you a better impression of what's going on at the Boulder World Cup. Austrian colleague Heiko William, head coach of the Austrian climbing team, and I are discussing recent changes in the rules and the route setting so far at the Baku World Cup. I will try to get as many different opinions from different coaches as possible.
Also ich stehe hier mit Anna Stör und sie hat das schon mal gemacht.
Aber nicht noch.
Dieses akrobatische Klettern über dicken Matten. Und was meinst du, muss man klettern, um ins Superfinale zu kommen? Super Halbfinale.
Ja, also
Super Halbfinale.
Ich will das Super Halbfinale erreichen bei den Herren meiner Prognose nach ein Boulder.
Enough talking. Let's see what the highlights were at the first 4 Boulder World Cups in 2014. One thing the route setters tried for the very first time in Chongqing was to leave the boys' qualification problem entirely unchanged for the ladies. Some of the boys, especially the ones who couldn't climb this problem, were not so excited about this, but especially Shauna Coxey and Akio Noguchi, who both flashed this problem rather easily, were psyched.
所有运动员呢会依他们在半上游组就是半决赛表现大幅出场。现在进场的进行的是1号项目的半决赛28分，加油！
Quite a change of scenery. Now I'm in Grindelwald in the Swiss Alps. If there wouldn't be clouds, you could see the Eiger North face up there. And yesterday we saw a really gripping finals. Route setting wise, in my opinion, the best finals so far, with a well-deserved victory of Shauna Coxey, finally her first Boulder World Cup win, and amazingly, how should I say, convincing victory of Jan Hoyer. Just one thing before we start. There was a whole lot of suffering, of human suffering involved. More than I remember it being in previous seasons. Check it out. The Boulder World Cup 2014 stays very, very tight and gripping. All of the 5 top female boulderers can win any competition. It's always really, really close. Again with the boys, I think Jan has the lead now, but anything can happen. And next week we are already in Innsbruck, Austria for the next Boulder World Cup. yeah, follow the IFSC live streams and fingers crossed for the German team, of course. Thanks for watching and hope to see you at one of the events. Bye bye.